Okay, so this is the review for exam number 2, the 5th one I'm making special for the review, and this hopefully is the last one if I have enough room. I'm hoping to have enough room so that we don't have to do another review. Don't forget, you got video 1 to 9 plus 11 plus this stuff, all these reviews, these special reviews I'm making for you. Now, wait a minute. I want to maximize my space. So let me bring this down. Let me try to bring this piece of paper down. Yeah, okay. So I don't want to spend a lot of space up here. Exam 2 review. And this is E. So hopefully it's the last one. Okay, now we're talking about what I need to discuss with you are Venn diagrams. 2 things about Venn diagrams, and then one more thing, and then I'll be finished if I have enough room, like I said. Venn diagram. Let me show you an example of what you need to refresh your memory about. We did something very much like this in class, but let's refresh your memory. Venn diagram looking like this. Okay, let's say we're going to call this big Q. We're going to call this big R. We're going to put a little A in here. It doesn't need a dot, but I'm putting a little dot there anyway. A little B in here. Like I said, doesn't need a dot, doing it anyway. Little c, a little d, a little e, a little f, and inside the box, but outside the circles, a little g and a little h. Okay, so I want to go over some terminology with you that you don't get flustered. What if something says that it's not in Q? Just not in Q. Then what would you say for the elements that are not in Q? These are elements. What's not in Q? Not in Q would be E. I don't need the little dots. E, F, and then G and H also qualify. They're not in Q. All right. That's one thing I wanted to discuss. What if you're given some terminology that says in Q and in R? It's both in Q and in R. Okay, what would you say? So obviously you have to say C. If they have it in set form, this is how you'd write it. You'd have to say it means it would be C and D, obviously. All right, nothing super complicated, but I don't want you to be up against some language you don't understand. And then a third situation, what about if it's in neither Q nor R? So then you would say, if it's in neither Q nor R, you would say GH, G and H. And if you put it in set, it might have set, it might not. But G and H, they're not in Q or in R. And that's it. Just wanted to remind you of that terminology. Okay, so now, let me tell you also another thing about Venn diagrams that you might come up against. Sometimes they'll give you a bogus statement, a superfluous. They will give you a superfluous statement. Probably not too many, but a superfluous statement that you don't need to solve the problem. Don't need to solve problem. Okay, that's another thing I needed to tell you about Venn diagrams. Here's a third thing about Venn diagrams. A little bit more elaborate. What if you've got something that looks like this, but it's got 3 in them this time? 3 in them. A, B. No, I don't mean A, B, and C. I take that back. Just bear with me for a second, please. We actually get some words with them. This will be called the athletic little balloon. This one, athletic. athletic. This one will be the happy people in the whatever this is. And over here will be called the studious. Right? Let's say it's some team, whatever it is. Studious. Okay? Those are the three the balloons. Okay. Now, here's what, so like I said, sometimes it can be a super, then you have a bunch of statements, you can have a bunch of statements, etc. But don't forget you can get a superfluous thing. But here's the other thing I want to talk about over here in this case. This is really distinct. Let's say we're talking about that we want the people that are athletic, but not, let's say, let's say five people, let's say five people are athletic, but they're not happy, and they're not studious. Don't mean to make the joke over here, not at all. It's just an easy example to deal with. Okay, so the five people are athletic but not happy and not studious. Okay, so then it's five people. Where would you put that five? Would you put that five in the middle here? Here? Absolutely not. The only place that five belongs is right over here, because it belongs to the place where they're athletic, but they can't be anywhere near the happy and anywhere near the studious. That's all I wanted to tell you about about number three. The number three thing I wanted to tell you. One more thing to go. Okay, I hope I have enough room for that last thing that we need to get ready for this review, and I think I have enough room. Okay, so let me cordon off this area right over here. Right, this is all fair game for me to make my fourth point. Right, that five I had to do with people. The last thing we did was 3. Here is 4. Okay, here's the last thing. Let's say you have 9. This is a new thing that you haven't seen before. It's very important I tell you this. Prepare for the test. 9 spots in a fruit stand to display fruits. 9 spots to display fruits. Okay, now the same fruit can't be next to each other. So the same fruit, if it's the same fruit, it's not going to be in a distinct order. Same fruit. If it's the same fruit, it won't be in a distinct order. In a distinct there. That's a key word that you should pick up on. A buzzword. Distinct order. Same fruit can't be in a distinct order. Won't be. I'm sorry, I'm going a little bit fast here. Okay. Now, here's the deal. But we want how many ways you can have a distinct order. Our question is, how many ways you can have a distinct order. Distinct order. I have one more thing I didn't tell you. Just bear with me. That's going to be the question. But there's more. Here's the fruits. Here's what you got. You've got 3 apples. You've got, let me put them over here. This is given. All right. This is given. The 9 spots are given. And they're also given is that you've got 3 apples. 3 apples. 2 oranges. 2 oranges. And you've got, I'm sorry, how many do you have here? You've got 4 lemons. You've got 4 lemons. All right, so that's It's 9 spots to put your 3, 2, and 4. That's a total of 9, 2. The 3 and 2 is 5. From 4 is 9. So you got a spot for all of them, but you don't want them, you want them in distinct order. You don't want them right next to each other. So here's the formula. Then this is something we didn't see together, putting it right now, but it's pretty easy. You take all of the spots that are displayed, you put that in the numerator with a factorial, and then you take the 3 apples with its own factorial, you take the 2 oranges with its own factorial, and the 4 lemons with its own factorial. Work this out. You know how to do it. What we did, we said cordon this off and go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and then forward stop, and then do the 3, and then do the 2. Get rid of them. After that's done, you've got a number, right? And then you do the 3 and the 2. You use a calculator, and that will be, you'll get your answer. Right? Let me remind you how that works. While we're here, might as well remind you. You would go 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 and stop. And then what you have left over here is you'd have 3 times 2. I don't need the 1. And then you have another 2. And you'd get rid of that. The 3 times 2 is 6. That would go with the 6. The 2 would go with the 8, and it would turn into 4. All you have to do is 9 times 4 times 7 times 5 on a calculator, and you've got your answer. That's it. We're done with all these reviews, and this video is over, and all the reviews are over. And don't forget all those videos 1 to 9 and 11 that goes with this to prepare for exam number 2.